Hello friends, Alon from International Cruiser here, and today we're going to go over everything that's already included in the price of your cruise, as well as a few things you'll need to pay extra for. Yes, the cost of your cruise covers much more than just your cabin or the journey itself, and it's a good idea to know all the options available to you before you set sail. There are actually a lot of things included in your cruise fare for which you won't have to pay a single extra cent. So if you've ever wondered what exactly is included in the price of your cruise, this video is for you. So let's get started. I often get questions about what is included in the price of a cruise. Do you have to pay for food? What about drinks, attractions, and more? Sometimes it feels like as soon as you've booked your cruise, the expenses just keep piling up. But it really doesn't have to be that way. There are actually a lot of things included in the price of your cruise. In fact, you could get on the cruise and not spend a single extra dollar if you choose to. Moreover, I often hear more than once misleading information online about what is included in the price of a cruise. So let's clear things up. There are actually a lot of things that can be included in the price of your cruise. And of course, this varies from one company to another, and even within the same company from cruise to cruise or between different ships. So what do we get as the basic package in the price of the cruise? Almost without exception. Of course, the price of your cruise includes the cabin you paid for. Keep in mind that different cabins are entitled to different extras included in the room price itself, so you should take that into account as well. There are companies, for example MSC, where in addition to choosing the type of cabin, you also need to select the type of package. This of course affects the price of the cruise. But many times it allows you to add a lot of extras at no additional cost once you're already on the cruise. And this isn't just with MSC. For example, with NCL, if you choose a junior suite, you'll get, among other things, the option to send a bag of laundry at no extra charge. Many companies offer rooms that include room service from the kitchen at no additional cost. Certain rooms will grant you access to various facilities, such as specialty restaurants, a kids lounge, or even unlimited access to the spa. Of course, you've paid for this in the room price, but you won't need to pay extra once you're already on the cruise ship. That's why it's very important to check what your room or package includes. This way, you can make the most of everything you're entitled to. All of this is great, but what's included in the cruise price for standard rooms? Inside, ocean view, or balcony? First of all, it goes without saying that your room is cleaned twice and sometimes even 3 times a day. The room also includes all the usual things you'd get in a hotel room, from shampoo to towels, and you can also get towels at the pools and even take towels from the ship to the beaches. Just make sure to return them, because if not, you'll be charged. In all rooms you'll find a TV, though the channel selection isn't large, but in some companies you can find movies on demand at no extra cost. And of course, your cruise fare includes much more than just the transportation or the room, despite what might be written or said elsewhere. First of all, the food and meals. I've heard it all, every possible opinion. People sometimes compare staying at a hotel on land to staying on a cruise ship and assume it's the same thing. Meaning that the stay includes only breakfast, or sometimes not even that. And of course, that's not true. Your cruise fare, without exception, includes full board and much more than that. Yes, in the past there were attempts to lower cruise prices by not including the cost of food in the fare. They failed. When you go on a cruise, be prepared to gain a few kilos, because it's much more than just 3 meals a day. Basically, there's unlimited food. We'll touch on the various venues that are included in a moment, but know that on the large and modern ships, you can eat pretty much 24/7. For example, on my last cruise on the NCL Epic, the Ocean's restaurant offered a varied menu at all hours of the day and night, with lots of tasty options. You can see a full breakdown of the menu and the different dishes in the video I made about Ocean's restaurant. I'll also link it in the video description for easy access. Or wait until the end of this video for a simple transition to it. Also, as you may have already realized, meals on cruise ships usually aren't limited to just the buffet. Yes, on smaller ships all meals are buffet only, But on all international ships, there's also a main dining room that's included in the price of the cruise. In the main restaurant, you'll have the option to order from an organized menu, including table service by waiters. In most main restaurants, the meal consists of appetizers, a main course, and dessert. However, on some ships there are even included restaurants with a 5-course meal menu or more. I recommend checking which restaurants are included in the price and which are not before or during your cruise, so you can enjoy the variety. Just for comparison, if we go back to the Norwegian Epic ship, then in addition to the buffet and the main restaurants, there are actually 2 of them. Even though the menu is the same, the atmosphere is different. As I mentioned, there is also the Irish restaurant, O'Sheehan's, and in addition, another Asian restaurant that is included in the price of your cruise. And of course, this is all in addition to the buffet on the upper deck. On the large Royal Caribbean ships, there are also 5 or even 6 or more venues that are included in the price of the cruise. The ship's main restaurant will be open for breakfast and dinner on port days, and on sea days, also for lunch. The buffet will be open for 3 meals a day and is usually open almost continuously from morning until after dinner, with short breaks to change the menus. In addition to meals, you can also find complimentary drinks at the ship's buffet. The selection also varies from company to company, but generally includes coffee, tea, machine-dispensed juices, water, and in the morning, also chocolate milk and regular milk. You can access these machines at any time of the day. In the main dining room, you can get hot and cold drinks in the morning at no extra charge with most companies. However, drinks during lunch or dinner in the main dining room will incur an additional charge unless stated otherwise. Of course, this varies from company to company. For example, on Disney Cruise, everyone gets free soft drinks at no extra charge. There are also many promotions and different cruise lines that offer unlimited drink packages at the time of booking or as part of the room reservation cost. This way, you can enjoy a wider variety of drinks and even unlimited alcohol, but of course, this is reflected in the price of the cruise. A good way to learn more. To find out which restaurants are included in the price of your cruise, I recommend watching the ship review videos I upload here on the channel. In the coming months, many more review videos of international ships that you can board from various ports will be uploaded. I'd love to hear from you about which ships you'd like to see reviewed, so add your requests in the comments below. If you're interested in the topic of food on cruises, I invite you to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also click the bell icon. I cover this topic in depth, as well as provide full reviews of all the different facilities on ships from all the companies, all included in your cruise price, so it's worth subscribing. If you subscribe and click the bell, you'll get a notification every time a new video is uploaded to the channel, so you won't miss any videos. Note that on all cruise ships there are also additional restaurants for an extra charge called specialty restaurants or specialty dining. Meals at specialty restaurants come at an additional cost on top of the cruise price, but often you can book rooms that include deals giving you a number of specialty meals at no extra charge. Check what the price difference is and whether it's worth it for you. Okay, so what else is included in the cruise price besides the room and meals? Various facilities on the ship will also be available at no extra charge, whether it's the pool or the gym, which are found on all ships and are also included at no additional cost. On many ships there will be different relaxation areas, including jacuzzis, some of which are located in adults-only zones. Additionally, on larger ships, there will be a dedicated area for suites, and in any case, using these areas comes at no extra cost. The spa, on the other hand, does come with an additional charge unless it has already been paid for as part of the room package. Some rooms include access to the spa at no extra cost, while guests in standard rooms will need to purchase daily passes or a full cruise pass. Additionally, there are various facilities on the ships that are free of charge, but these vary from one ship to another. If your ship has water playgrounds or splash zones, these will be available at no extra charge. On many ships, in addition to a fitness center, you can also find a running track and courts for basketball, tennis, volleyball, or mini golf. Additional attractions such as the climbing wall on royal ships, zipline parks, or rope parks on NCL and MSC ships are also included in the cruise price. In general, many of the attractions available on the ships are free of charge. While others may have a fee, it is recommended to read in advance or ask the staff what is included, because often the use or participation will be free of charge. For example, on royal cruises, in certain sailings, access to the skydiving simulator and the surf simulator is provided at no extra cost. Bumper cars, laser tag, mini golf, zip line, cinema, and many other attractions. Depending on the ship, most of these will usually be free of charge, except for a few exceptions, such as go-karting on NCL's new ships. To sum up this topic, most of the attractions on the ships are included in the price of your cruise, so ask or check in advance so you can take advantage of everything your ship has to offer. In addition, most ships have lounges and nightclubs, which are also free of charge. And the bigger the ship, the more entertainment options you'll find on board. That way, everyone can find the genre that suits them. Whether it's a jazz club, a disco, or even a comedy club, the clubs on the ships are included in the price. What's more, you can find bands and live music on the ships until the early hours of the morning. Again, all at no extra cost. And of course, let's not forget the classic theater. Every evening you can enjoy a show or performance at no extra cost. The style depends on the company, and the number and type of performances depend on the size of the ship. But at the very least, you can go to the theater every night and watch a show or performance. On larger ships, you can also find circus shows, ice skating performances, or water shows. Yes, there are some performances that require an additional fee. For example, during the coronavirus crisis, MSC had a collaboration with Cirque du Soleil, and although I believe it was worth the extra payment, it really wasn't mandatory. Just to give you an idea, you can watch full Broadway shows like Cats, Hairspray, Grease, Mamma Mia, or Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, all at no extra cost in the ship's theater. And I'm talking about full Broadway productions. That alone is a savings of $100 or more per passenger. And on most cruises, you can find 2 or even 3 shows during a week-long cruise. Usually, you won't be able to enjoy everything the ship has to offer in terms of shows in just 1 week of cruising. Beyond everything mentioned, there are many more activities included in your cruise fare on board the ship. From trivia, quizzes, and game shows to various competitions, dance classes, language lessons, and different workshops and tutorials. Lectures on a variety of topics, and even a library and a board games room on most ships are all included in your cruise fare. You can find a summary of all the activities available each day on the ship in your daily schedule, which is always worth checking every morning. Additionally, on many ships, there will be art galleries and various art pieces scattered throughout the ship. It might sound funny, but on most ships, you can find works that have been displayed in museums around the world. Yes, the ultimate goal is usually to sell you this art. Almost all the artworks on display are for sale, except for the ship's permanent pieces. But that's no reason not to enjoy these works. You can attend lectures on art and get explanations about different pieces. On my last cruise with NCL, we saw works by Monet, Picasso, Dalí, and there was even an exhibition of Yakov Agam. In addition, the kids' clubs are also free of charge, except for infants who are not potty trained or during late night hours. The clubs are divided by age groups, and you can leave your children under supervision, where they'll participate in activities similar to summer camps on land, from social activities, playtime, and various crafts, to being taken for lunch. For older kids, there are video games and dedicated dance clubs. Again, all of this is included in your cruise price. Please note that the arcade room is not included and requires an additional fee. In summary, all the food, most attractions, use of the slides, the water park, the gym, a full schedule of activities, nightclubs, live music, shows and performances, and many other things are included. Now, all of this is included in your cruise price. So, practically speaking, anyone who doesn't want to add anything to the cruise price can definitely go on a cruise for just the cost of the cruise itself. Except for the cost of tips, which you can also choose to cancel. So where do we go from here? You can learn about the topic of tips in the next video. Or alternatively, learn how to secure a lower price for your next cruise. And that way even save on the cost of the cruise itself. So what are you waiting for? Choose the next video.